Alright, football fans, here's a question for you. What if I told you that some of the most bizarre rules in football, yes, the ones that leave even the pros scratching their heads, are still being enforced today? And no, I'm not talking about the obvious stuff like offside or fouls. We're talking about the strange, head-scratching, downright weird rules that are hiding in plain sight. What's the deal with goalkeepers holding onto the ball for way more than 6 seconds? Why can't you kick the ball twice on a free kick without getting penalized? And wait, did you know there's an offside rule that isn't even about the ball or the play itself? Yep, it's true. These rules still exist and they're shaping the way football is played. Stick around because today we're diving deep into the 5 most bizarre rules in football, explaining why they exist and breaking down some of the wildest moments in football history that prove these rules can make or break a game. You'll be surprised at how many of these you've never even noticed before. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. 1. The double touch rule on free kicks. Imagine this. You've got a perfect free kick setup, the wall is ready, the goalkeeper's nervous, and then you've got one shot to make it count. But what if I told you that in certain situations, the rules say you can't kick the ball twice in a row? This is called the double touch rule, and it's one of the strangest yet most important regulations in football. Here's the catch. When a player takes a free kick, the ball can't touch the player again until someone else has touched it. If they do touch the ball a second time before anyone else, the free kick is considered an indirect free kick for the opposition. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? But the reason this rule is in place is actually because it prevents players from attempting trick shots like kicking the ball, then immediately running to double their shot on goal or use the ball for an additional pass without anyone else getting involved. It keeps the game honest and avoids giving players an unfair advantage. So even though it's a little confusing, it's there for fairness. 2. The back pass rule. Okay, this one gets people riled up every time. Have you ever seen a goalkeeper in the middle of a game receiving a back pass from a teammate and then boom, they pick it up? Well, don't worry, you're not the only one who's ever been confused. Here's the deal. Under the back pass rule, a goalkeeper cannot pick up the ball with their hands if it has been intentionally passed to them by a teammate's foot. Yes, you heard that right. No handballs on a pass from your own teammate. Sounds pretty bizarre, right? After all, why shouldn't the keeper be able to grab it? Here's why. The rule exists to keep the game flowing and prevent teams from deliberately wasting time. Imagine a team trying to play keep away by sending the ball back to their goalie over and over again. Boring, right? Well, this rule forces players to actually play the game and keeping the action lively and competitive, so no more goalkeepers playing handball every time they're passed the ball. 3. The goalkeeper 6-second rule. Now, this one is a total oddity. The 6-second rule for goalkeepers sounds pretty reasonable when you first hear it. The keeper has 6 seconds to get rid of the ball once they've touched it with their hands. Easy, right? But here's the twist. This rule is so rarely enforced that it might as well not exist in most games. Why? Because the referees hardly ever call it. Goalkeepers can sometimes hold on to the ball for 15, 20 seconds, or even longer without being penalized. Why is this rule even in place then? The 6-second rule was introduced to prevent time wasting. A team can't just let their goalkeeper stand there all day holding the ball and stalling the game. The idea was to speed up the game, make it more exciting, and give the attacking team a fair chance at scoring. Still, referees tend to be very lenient about it, and goalkeepers have gotten used to pushing that 6-second window to the limit. So yeah, the rule might seem weird and a little bit pointless at times, but technically, it's there for pace. 4. The offside rule and the myth of active play. The offside rule. The one that leaves fans and players alike screaming at the referee after almost every goal. Offside is one of the most complicated and debated rules in football, and there's a reason why it still causes confusion. The rule itself is pretty straightforward. A player is offside if they're closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last defender at the moment the ball is passed to them. But here's the real kicker. They don't even have to be active as in the play to be called offside. For example, a player can be standing in an offside position position, but if they're not involved in the play at all, they might not get flagged. However, if they are involved like running toward the goal or even distracting the defenders in some cases, they can be called offside. Confused yet? Here's the thing, this gray area has led to some seriously bizarre moments in football history, like goals that were disallowed because the player was offside but not actually playing the ball. The rule is meant to stop players from camping out right in front of the goal and waiting for a pass, which would be super boring to watch. Still, the whole active versus passive offside debate leaves many scratching their heads. 5. The throw-in rule, feet on the ground. Throw-ins are one of the simplest and most routine things in football, right? You're off the field, the ball's out, and it's your turn to throw it back in. Well, there's a rule about how you have to take a throw-in that might surprise you. According to the rule, when you take a throw-in, both feet must be on the ground. But here's the catch. One of your feet must be completely on the ground, and the other can't be anywhere near the line, or worse, floating in the air. It seems so minor, yet so many players still slip up and end up with their throw-ins being called as illegal. But why does this rule even exist? It's all about fairness and ensuring that the throw doesn't give the player an unfair advantage. When a player jumps or gets too much momentum in the air, they can technically throw the ball further than they would from a normal grounded position. The rule is meant to keep things even and ensure the throw-in doesn't become a secret weapon. So, why do these weird rules exist? Football is a sport with a rich history, a history that spans centuries of games, tweaks to the rules, and even a few accidental discoveries. Many of these bizarre rules were designed to keep the game fair, fast-paced, and, of course, exciting. Football isn't just about the athleticism, it's about strategy, fair play, and keeping the game unpredictable. So after hearing about all these bizarre rules, what's your take? Do you think these quirky regulations should stay, or is it time to revise them for the modern game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Prime Plays for more deep dives into the strangest, most mind-blowing rules in sports.